So previously, on Pandemic Shadows, we saw Emily Carter, a dedicated ER nurse, vanish inside St. Mary's Hospital during the height of the pandemic. The last known image of her was on a security feed, walking beside an unknown man in a hallway that didn't exist on any public hospital map. 5 years later, archivist Daniel Hughes found her file, and inside, a USB drive labeled Wing C Tonight. We press play. Daniel double-clicked the file. The footage opened in a small window, grainy, black and white, from an overhead security camera. Emily walks beside the masked man. The hallway they're in is narrow, lined with locked doors, each with a small square window covered from the inside. From one of the doors, a faint tapping sound echoes. Emily slows down, looking toward the noise. The man gestures for her to keep moving. They pass a door marked C7. For a split second, the camera angle changes, as if someone else is watching from another feed. Daniel leans closer to the laptop screen, and that's when he notices the timestamp on the video doesn't match the hospital's official records. It's 3 hours later than the time Emily supposedly left. The next day, Daniel visits a retired hospital engineer named Walter Reeves. Walter worked at St. Mary's for 30 years and knows the building's layout better than anyone alive. When Daniel mentions Wing C, Walter's face goes pale. That wing doesn't exist anymore. He pulls out an old blueprint from the 1980s. On it is a section of the hospital that's now just a blank space on modern maps. Wing C. According to Walter, Wing C was sealed off in 1999 after a biohazard incident. But in the early days of the pandemic, it might have been reopened, unofficially. Late that night, Daniel returns to St. Mary's. He wears dark clothes, a baseball cap, carries only a flashlight and his phone. Inside, the hospital is quiet, but not empty. Nurses pass by, glancing at him without suspicion. Archivists are common here. He takes the service elevator to the basement, but the button for C is missing. In the far corner of the laundry room, he finds a locked metal door. On its surface, a faded sign, "Authorized personnel only." The keycard reader is dead, but the hinges are rusted. Daniel forces the door open just enough to squeeze through. The smell hits him immediately: stale air, disinfectant, and something metallic. Blood? The hallway is exactly as in the video. Narrow, low ceilings, peeling paint. Every door marked with a letter and number. From behind C4, he hears faint coughing. From C5, a muffled voice calling for help. But when he shines his flashlight through the small window, there's nothing inside. At the end of the hall, the floor dips into a wide room. Rows of empty beds line the walls. In the center, an old ventilator sits plugged into nothing. On the far wall, a bulletin board, pinned to it. Dozens of ID badges. One of them belongs to Emily Carter. Daniel hears footsteps behind him. Slow, deliberate, getting closer. He turns. The masked man from the video is standing in the doorway. Same dark coat. Same unreadable eyes above the mask. "You shouldn't be here," the man says. His voice is calm, almost kind, but his hand is holding a small vial of clear liquid. The label reads, "Batch 4C Containment." Daniel backs away, but the man doesn't follow. Instead, he points toward the exit and says, "If you want the truth, bring the rest of the file." Back in his apartment, Daniel spreads out Emily's file on the table. Hidden inside the lining of the folder He finds another USB, this one, labeled only with a date, April 20th, 2020. He plugs it in. The video begins, and Daniel's own name flashes across the screen in block letters. "How did they know my name?" he whispers. The screen cuts to black. Text appears. "See you in Wing C, 3 days. Next time." The truth comes out.